In this video, we will be targeting African Sharptooth Catfish Diamonds with a crazy hot strategy. If this video helps you catch your diamond, and probably a lot more, don't forget to give it a like and come back and leave a comment. Let me know you were successful. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Here is my latest catch. Green first fish at 2137 is a gold. Here's diamond number one, number two, three, four, five, six, seven, and eight. Finish up at 23:59. That's 2 hours, 22 minutes, 12 golds, 8 diamonds. Look at this crazy diamond hook method. I did this over the course of 2 days and several different fishing sessions. You see here, I started on October 4th at 12:55. Here's where I stopped the first session. Came back at 15:06. And here's where I stopped the next session. Then came back in the morning at 1:10. And ended here after catching 3. That was enough. Time to go to bed. And then I came back this afternoon on the 5th again and went from 1638. Just decided I'd get it done, except for I did decide to take a little food break right there, so you can see 1752 jumped to 1921. So I took a break, made some food, and then finished it up 21:05 on the 5th. So if you add all that crazy stuff up, it comes up to 291 minutes, or about 4 hours and 51 minutes. And of course, there was some time before I caught the first one or after the last one. So I'd say roughly 6 hours is a decent estimate to catch 20 diamonds. Let's take a quick look at the African Sharptooth Catfish. For the traits, it's a bottom lurker. We are absolutely going to be using a feeder bottom fishing rig for these fish. It's a hard fighter. Well, that's what it says anyways. I really don't think it is. It fights a little bit right at the beginning, and then it's pretty easy. And the last one, it's a night owl, more active at night. But I'm going to show you a strategy where we don't use night, and it works amazingly well. For the bait and lure preferences, all we need is match blend, the first one on the list to attract them. And we're going to use liver for the bait, second one on the list. The maximum African Sharptooth Catfish is 35 kilograms or 77.16 pounds. You are going to need your best feeder bottom fishing rig. And you see here, I'm using Cetro Del Rey. This is the best in the game. It comes from the Spain souvenir stand. Look for my video on how to get this if you need it. But you can use the graduation feeder rod for this as well. Here is the level 90 reel. Again, not a requirement, just makes the fight much easier. Use braided line for the extra length, the maximum that lines up with your rod. Any sinker will do. And you see here, I have size 3/0 hook, which is gold and liver. And I have an identical setup with 4/0, which is the diamond hook and liver again. So you're going to want to have at least the 4/0 hook. You don't have to do this, but it is nice to check with the 4/0. And it certainly makes it easier to swap if you have 2 rigs. But again, if you just have one, just have the extra hook on hand just in case. We're going to fish right at the boat, so all you need to do is equip your hand with match blend. It is absolutely critical to use the correct morning start that Arrow found for this method. You see it here. Let me show you the location. We are in the very bottom lake. Way up here is the main outpost. Right here. What you want to do is come to the Sunrise Country Club. Run down to the dock right here. Pop out a boat and drive out to where this marker is, right at the point of this deeper zone in the middle of this big lake. To catch African Sharptooth Catfish, you want to start in a morning server. Special thanks to Aero, that's AERO, for finding this amazing time window from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. And then you want to restart back in a new morning server. All you need for the gear is in hand. We're going to be out in the middle of the lake. You need one feeder bottom rig, and I recommend having both size 3/0 and 4/0, that is gold and diamond, respectively, with liver for your bait. And don't forget, match blend to attract them. It's time to do some fishing. You see 6:01 on my clock in the lower left, and you can see my boat out here. Don't forget, if you jump to the main outpost to restock, you're going to jump to a nearby spot. I am at the Sunrise in order to see your boat, and then you'll be able to transport to it. Fast travel, I should say. So here I am. What I like to do here is drop a waypoint about out in the middle of the channel in this direction, so I know where to aim. I'm going to grab my match blend, do a half toss out in the middle, and I am going to start out with a gold hook. Most people, I think, will want to use gold. If you're crazy enough like me to try diamond hook strategy, what I do for that is wait until 7 a.m. If I don't get a bite, I reset, try for a better server. Usually with gold hook, there's a pretty consistent bite, but you never know. You may get a slow server. And once again, huge shout out and special thanks to Aero, AERO, who let me know about this time window strategy. This is not one I had ever tested before, and holy cow, it's way better than the either evening or night windows I was using previously. So we're just going to work both sides of the boat. I alternate back and forth. Sometimes you get a bite immediately. Other servers, it might take a little bit. We'll see if we get lucky this time. Doesn't look like there's one there immediately. There it is. I spoke just a bit too soon. Now with this rig, I can tell this is a gold. With this identical gear, a diamond will take you into hot red. Not the fastest fight in the universe, but we're not here for speed. And you see how it has that hard fighter trait, but I really tend to disagree, because outside of the initial burst, then there's a secondary burst. It comes in very easily. Now granted, I'm using the max gear. You can also jig for these if you want. Because of the gold and diamond strategy, I'm not as big of a fan of that, but you can let it sit on the bottom. If you don't have a decent feeder bottom rig, and you do have the level 35 grow and mediator, you can jig for them with a worm if you want. Same size, use a heavy jig head. Can't really move these things. Let's see. Yeah, barely. Not even worth your time to pump the rod, in my opinion. There's a gold. Cool looking fish. All I'm going to do is turn around the other way. Same thing. Half toss. This time should be somewhere around 205. There it is, 205.3. That way you know you're in the deep zone. It will be shallower than that if you stray left or right. There's nothing more to this. Totally up to you if you want a screen full of diamonds and you have the patience. Switch to the 4-aught. Here's another gold. But I found farming the golds worked pretty well too. It's certainly less boring. And as you can see, clearly going to be another gold somewhere around 45 pounds. You get the initial resistance and then it goes loose for a while. Then we'll get the bounce, secondary bounce. There it is. Nothing more to this one. Just make sure you stick to that 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. window. If you're still getting bites, there's plenty of times I've gone past 8, 8:39, and the bite will die out. If you're not, quit at 8. And like I said, if I'm dime hooking, or even if I'm gold hooking and I don't get a bite by 7, which is not a lot of real time. Let's see where we're at right now, 6:14. Then I just reset and look for a new server. Sometimes you get one that just doesn't cooperate, gets a lousy spawn pool. Stay with the video to watch the extra long big fish montage. I have tons of diamonds to show you just from a couple days of fishing. 44 pounds. I was pretty close, I guessed 44. That's all there is to this one. Happy fishing. Have a good one. Please click on the logo bottom left to subscribe to my channel. Check out my other content and don't forget to hit the like button on the video.